Okay. Hello, everybody. This is the long-awaited video of how to prep your chest for goddamn top surgery. Okay? I'm going to be your teacher today. My name is Mr. Olye Kane. You may refer to me as nothing because you guys are all watching, and this is not interactive because you can't ask me any questions. Thank God. A couple of disclaimers, couple things I'll just get right off the bat. Number one, this video is not only for trans men. If you are non-binary and want to get top surgery, this video is for you. If you are a lesbian and still want to get top surgery, this video is for you. If you love your breasts, if you love your tits, and you're like, yeah, I feel super connected to this, I love having these on my body, I love being a woman, guess what? This video is still for you. Because while a part of this is going over surgical goals and top surgery, the main portion of this is nutrition, prepping your, upper musculature, and getting stronger and how to do so. That's number one. Number two, I do not have a degree. Okay, I do not have a college degree. Barely have a high school graduation, degree. There's people try to come for me doing what I do because of my lack of college education and education in general, and you're right. Okay, I don't have what other people have, right? I can reference you to a lot of people that do. Some of my best friends are the smartest people I know that have college degrees and are getting their master's or graduate program in whatever. They're extremely smart. Some of my best friends are in nursing school, kinesiology, physical therapy, psychology, right? And I can reference you guys to them if you'd like. I'm not ashamed of how I got to where I am, and I'm not going to hide from that. So people trying to say that I'm not qualified to speak about the things that I speak of, I don't really think that's fair. If you see that as a con, maybe, I'm not the most educated person in the room, but the plus side is I do know what it takes to build the body that you want. I do know the hard work that needs to be put in. And I can explain this to you in a way that is helpful because I'm not going to throw a bunch of words at you that you don't know what they mean, right? I'm not going to use vocabulary to make myself seem smarter and for you to seem dumber and to put myself on some sort of pedestal, because chances are, to whoever's watching this, I was way worse off than you are. You think you don't have the body that you'd like? Well, I can promise you mine was worse, right? So this serves as a disclaimer because, if you're looking for some really highly, educated person to be speaking about this, go to anyone fucking else. If you don't like me cussing, literally go to anyone fucking else. If you don't like the way I talk, the way I do things, the way that I don't bullshit people, go anywhere else. It's not going to be for me. It never fucking will. Ever. Ever. I will be addressing things in this video that people don't necessarily want to talk about, right? So let's just get right the fuck into it. So excited to do this with you guys. So many notes that we're going to be speaking of. So this video is in 6 parts, technically 7, but I just did the first one, the addressing. So we're going to get into the first part. Top surgery, surgical goals. Okay. Surgical goals. In the most humble way possible, after I got top surgery, my surgeon called me and he said, it was one of the easiest top surgeries he's ever done. Mind you, he's done 3,000, 3,500, something crazy like that. And I contribute that all to my bodybuilding past. I severely underestimated how much fitness actually does play such a huge factor in getting the surgery and what happens after surgery. I was like, yeah, like whatever, you need to work out pre-top surgery. I was like, fine, whatever. Me working out had nothing to do with me getting top surgery ever. It really didn't. And I was like, people were like, well, it's gonna look so good because you built all that muscle, and I was like, yeah, like whatever, like probably. But now looking at it after, I'm like, okay, they weren't fucking around. So I'm gonna be explaining to you why people say to work out before top surgery. It's very simple, right? Basically, it's a separation of your breast tissue from your pectoral. So what that does is it creates a very plain and easy canvas, you could say, for your surgeon to do your surgery. It makes the incision lines close to perfection because they don't have to guess around where your fat is, where your muscle is, anything like that, because they can just do it right on your pectoral line. So I'm going to show you guys what your tit actually looks like. Kind of crazy. I didn't know this till after surgery either. Yeah, and you do have pecs. Everybody, I don't know what is this notion that you don't have pecs if you were born a woman, but you do. I'm just doing my doodles. Give me a sec. Okay. Your pectoral muscle, right? This is your breast fat. This is what makes them hang. If you have bigger ones, I had pretty big tits before, okay? Everyone has breast fat, okay? That's your nipple. Your goal is to tighten this as much as possible so that this kind of just hangs, if you know what I'm saying. Because if this isn't tight, if you're not building this, then these are going to be, there's not going to be any indication of where they should make the incision or anything like that, right? So that's the main thing. I mean, there is a lot more scientific terms you can use, but in the most simple way I can explain this, you need to make the surgeon's job as easy as fucking possible. Because if they have to swim around a bunch of fat and try to, gauge and guess where they think your pectoral line is and where they think your fat stops and everything, it's going to be a fucking mess. Okay? That's also why certain people have to lose weight pre-surgery because of I think they use like a certain scale or something for it. Right? Because if you have too much fat, then it's going to cloud their literal plane. So that's number one. Identifying where the incision needs to be made is something that you really want to make very easy on your surgeon, right? So again, when you work out your chest, that muscle that's under your breast fat is going to tighten and tighten and tighten, just like our biceps do, right? Just like all that stuff does, okay? People saying that you can't do it without tea is fucking garbage. I did it, okay? I only got, from when I got first started tea to when I got surgery, how many months was that? 6 months. 6 months. All of that work was done before, guaranteed. I had already built chest muscle pre-testosterone. Okay, so people saying that you can't do it without tea, that's garbage. You can. And we're going to be talking about how. So, yeah, so the clearest incisions are best made like along the muscle borders, your natural muscle borders. So I'll give you an example. Like, you can see very clearly, like here, where my pectoral line is, obviously, right? Where my abdomen is and my chest muscle right there, okay? So when I got surgery, my breasts, like my tits were literally like hanging, I would show a picture of them pre-surgery, but I think the video would get taken down. I think I'll be able to share it, like, I don't know. I don't think I'll be able to actually put what they looked like before, but I'm not even kidding. Like, it looked like this, except my tit just hung down from it, right? Because I had built so much of that musculature that eventually my breast fat just started kind of sagging off, okay? Which is kind of, at least in my experience, that was really good for my surgeon because it made the incision line so clear of what he needed to do. Yeah. So again, like what I'm talking about is a lot of aesthetics, right? No matter what, okay, getting top surgery is the best, most freeing feeling ever. This is basically just what you can do to make the results the most optimal. As someone who underestimated going into it and what I look like now, it's quite crazy. Okay, but the main premise of this is just the best scar placement and having that be right on against your pectoral line, giving you the best aesthetic, right? So making you look, you know, you don't want to look concave, right? We want to be flat, but we don't want to be concave, right? So doing certain things to produce a better aesthetic is going to be a lot better for you in the long run. Okay, so I think that makes sense. I tried to explain that in the best, most simple way that I could. You just want to make the surgeon's job easier. You just want to tighten the muscle that's under your breast fat. That's it. Bye. Okay. Experience. So again, this is kind of referencing gym experience. One more time for my trans people, you will see gym results without tea. If you cannot get on tea right now, if it is not accessible to you, that's not an excuse not to fucking go. It's just not. Okay? You can get results being on tea, without tea, whatever. So much of my musculature was built as a masked lesbian. Okay? So much of it. So that's not an excuse. Getting that out of the way. If you are completely brand new to the gym, which I don't think a lot of people that watch this are, if you're completely brand new, I would recommend starting on a bro split. So what that means is it's going to be a 4 to 6 day split where you're working one body part per day. Right? One body part per day. The advantage of this is if you're new, it can really set you up and have a very good framework, a very balanced framework. It gives you ample recovery time, right? So you're not stressed out about sleep, water intake, all that kind of shit because you're just hitting it literally once a week or however many times you decide. The first 6 months of me lifting, I started with a bro split. I saw great results. If you go hard, it's definitely not a bad split to do. I don't do it anymore because I have different goals, obviously, than when I first started to lift. I do seriously recommend doing this. Some examples. Let me just think. Yeah, I mean, chest, arms, back, legs. Not the greatest, but pretty good. If you wanted to add more, you could do chest, shoulders, back, arms, legs. That was a split I did for the first 6 months. Great 5-day split. Gave me 2 days off. Really awesome to get into lifting. And then a 6-day, you know, that's when you would split your leg days into two. Basically doing quad and ham. So that's a 6-day. So basically meaning you have chest, you do shoulders the next day, you could do hams the next day, back, and then quad. That's a lot of recovery time. Again, I do recommend it if you're new. If you don't have your nutrition in check, and a lot of this is about holding yourself accountable. If you don't have your nutrition in check, if you get shit sleep, if you don't have good water intake, I would do this because it's going to show you a good fundamentals to lifting, and it'll make it easier because you'll have a good handle on the exercises and everything like that. Now, for my people that have been lifting for a long time, let's say like 1 to 2 years, do PPO, right? I would recommend doing a push-pull legs that obviously gives you the golden ticket, right? Because you're hitting chest twice a week. Now, please take me seriously when I say this. If you have garbage recovery, don't do PPL. That's it. Because you will not recover, and in turn, you will not gain muscle. You can chop it up to sound smart or whatever the fuck. That's what it is. Okay? If you don't hit your protein, if you don't drink your water, if you don't sleep correctly, don't do PPL. That's it. It took me a solid year and a half to be able to start doing PPL correctly because I would be so fucking tired and I wouldn't be able to do it because my recovery was so bad. Right? So there you go. If you're brand new, start doing a bro split, right? Start hitting just one muscle group per day. If you're doing PPL, great. You can hit chest, shoulders, triceps in one day. You better make the fucking sets good and you better recover well. That's it. Okay. Third, exercises. So probably what the majority of you are looking for is what the actual fuck I was doing to get my chest prep for top surgery. I will be honest. For a long time, I actually wasn't doing very good chest exercises. And to be quite honest with you, I was very bench obsessed. It took a lot away from my actual chest gains because I just wanted to be good at bench press. I'm going to be giving you my personal best chest exercises, and then I'm going to be giving you the best chest exercises based on some of the best science-based lifters of our generation. I watch them all the time for work, try to do as much research as I can. So I'm going to be giving you those two lists. Here's the thing. What I like, and even what these amazing, well-researched, really well-educated guys like, that might not be what you like. That might not be what you see the best results from. That's what I'm saying with this. Like, everybody is so different, right? There are things that I personally can't not do in the gym that my friends wouldn't step one foot into. You know what I mean? And there's certain things that they like doing that I'm like, fuck that goddamn shit. I'm not fucking doing that, So this is what I'm doing. This is what I like. So I'm going to give you what are my top 3 here? Yeah, okay. It's like the grand reveal for real. Okay. My top 3 exercises, Ollie lift fucking style, the ones that got me truly to where I think I was before surgery, are these 3. Okay. Number 1, Smith incline bench. The reason for this being, it is the most chest isolate. It gives you a very clear line of motion. You're able to hit failure, because you're on Smith. So hitting failure, you should, if you're going to utilize this exercise, you better do it to its fullest capacity. You should be hitting failure every time. And it gives you a great concentric explosion, gives you a great squeeze. Really, really, really fucking good, honestly. Number 2, DB incline. I relied on DB incline for 6 months, I would say. It was the first thing I did every push day, every chest day. First thing I did, DB incline. I definitely saw so much more growth in my upper chest to middle chest utilizing DB incline. And third, obviously, definitely not least though, is pec fly. Not fucking dumbbell, okay? Cable or machine. There is a machine pec fly at my gym that I love. Again, it gives you a clear line. You can't be unstable because it doesn't let you get unstabilized, and it gives you a clear line of motion every time. Allows for the biggest stretch, obviously. It's a lightweight exercise. It's a great burnout exercise. These 3 were my top 3. So yeah, as you can obviously tell, the top 2 exercises are incline exercises. The reason being, incline hits your middle chest and your upper chest. So exactly like we were talking about, how to give the surgeon a clean, plain canvas, an easy canvas, you need to be working those muscles right there, right? Because you need to have a very tight, very locked. Imagine your chest muscles are like a gridlock, right? This is how they start. You want to tighten them like that, and you want to have them be like this, right? Incline movements, heavy set incline movements, utilizing progressive overload, that shit's gonna do it for you. Don't sleep on incline movements, please, for the love of fuck. Incorporate them into everything you're doing. At least have one in your push day. That's what I say, genuinely. Let's go over my next ones. So cute that I did all this, you guys. I should start doing this for all my YouTube videos. I like feel so much like clearer in my head. Okay, 4, 5, and 6. 4 is a machine chest press. Machine chest presses are great. For me personally, I don't feel the best squeeze with them. I'm gonna be honest. They're just not my favorite. I know tons of bodybuilders that's like their top exercise. For me, it's not. I think I get it better if I'm gonna have a clear line of motion. I'd much rather have it with a machine fly, and I'd much rather have it with like a Smith incline. My 5 and 6 are incline bench and like incline barbell bench, and 6 is at flat dumbbell bench and barbell bench. I put flat DB and BB at my last because not that you shouldn't prioritize flat chest exercises. That's not what I'm saying at all. I would say you should definitely have both in your routine. You should definitely have incline and flat both. Okay, definitely. Would I prioritize incline more? Yes. One of the main reasons for that, barbell bench, it is a great chest exercise. The problem with it is a lot of people's egos, including mine, get in the way. Okay, you want to lift really heavy, you want to show everyone in the gym, you want to show your girlfriend you can lift heavy on bench. So it stops becoming a chest exercise, and it starts becoming a powerlifting exercise and just how strong you are. Okay, that's not what, if you're actually doing barbell bench and you're doing 8 to 10 reps of clean, nice sets, nice reps, great form, great. It's a good chest exercise. That's literally maybe 10% of the time of what I see it be done for. Flat dumbbell, again, there's nothing wrong with it. The only thing with flat chest exercises, it gets your front delt involved. It gets a lot of your front delt involved. Especially with barbell, that's a tricep, front delt, and chest exercise most of the time. Flat DB gets your front delt involved too. So I'm going to talk about how I would group them, but that's my opinion, okay? Obviously, as you can see, I prioritize my incline movements more. That's what gave me the best results. I literally saw it somewhere in a YouTube video. I literally think it was a fucking Trend Twins video, and they were talking about just how incline is more isolate, and I was like, what the fuck? I looked it up. It's true. It isolates your upper middle chest more, which is what we want to be working to give your surgeon a clear, good, straight plane. Okay, so this is Jeff Nippard. You guys probably know who he is. If you bodybuild at all, I feel like you guys know who Jeff Nippard is. So he ranks these kind of weird. Like, he doesn't do it a number ranking, but I'll give you his number 1. So this is his list. You guys can listen to him too. I would honestly recommend trying whatever. Okay. Jeff Nippard's top 3 exercises. He does like an S tier list. I don't really like understand the point of those, but that's what he does. So his only one that he put on like his superior above all is his machine chest press. Again, personally, I never got into that one. I didn't start at a gym that had a good one, so I just never got into it. There's gonna be a lot of stories like that, like if you just don't have the access to it, you're not gonna want to do it. If it just doesn't feel as good, you're not gonna want to do it. But machine chest press was his number 1. That's my number 4. His number 2 is a flat barbell bench and an incline barbell bench. So again, I rank that last for me personally. We do share the same insight though on flat barbell. He said that like if you're actually utilizing it as a chest exercise, then it can give you great hypertrophy. If you're doing it as an ego lift, it's not going to happen, right? Incline barbell, he said pretty much the same thing. The difference between incline Smith and an incline barbell or anything Smith and free weight related is while Smith has a better isolation, okay, free weight is, I would say, just overall better for your strength. You have to utilize more muscle recruitment because you're working more of your musculature because you're not stable. And to stabilize, your muscle there has to be more muscle recruitment being done to your body. And then obviously for his third, he just put flat dumbbell and incline dumbbell. So you can kind of see where that's at. The rest of the exercises, I mean, they're kind of the same. I don't disagree with him. I think these are great. Personally, for me, that's not where it is. But yeah, those are the rankings, you guys. So again, obviously, do I prioritize incline 100%? That's what gave me the best results. Feel it out. Feel out what you like. Feel out what you don't like. And hopefully you can get yourself a good chest day kind of going there. Oh yeah, and then again, I have like some notes from Dr. Mike. He's super funny if you guys know him. So he talks about the incline barbell bench, right? The barbell version engages more stabilizing muscles, exactly, because it's a more natural movement. You're not stable due to the Smith. And yeah, the thing with Smith is that you can fail probably better, right? Because it's the handles or the bits, I guess, to stop the barbell are right there for you. So my recommendation, honestly, I would recommend utilizing both in your program. I would do Smith and I would do free weight. I would not do one or the other. There is so many benefits to both. Yeah, so that's probably my biggest thing. Definitely just try to utilize both. Okay. All right, you guys. Next one. What is this for? I would be such a bad teacher. Like, holy shit, bro. Oh my god. I gave my teacher such a hard time. God damn. Okay. It's okay. Chill. Alright. Lifting technique. Okay. There's a lot of things I'm going to say about this. I don't want to make this video an hour long, so I'm going to try to keep it kind of the most simple that I can. Number one, right, we're going to utilize a 3-1-1 technique. I make all my clients do it. They get so fucking annoyed with me. Guess what? They have the best results that they've ever had. Basically what that means is... Can you guys read that? Definitely not. Okay, the 3 is your eccentric. The eccentric means, if you ever hear that in lifting, basically what that means is you're coming back down to rest, right? So when you're doing a shoulder press, the eccentric is you going like this, right? You bringing it back down to rest. When you're doing a lat pull down, let's say it's a pull day, your eccentric is you bringing it back up, right? So it's your positioning, it's your movement back up to rest. The 1 is your isometric. the isometric, or you at the top of the rep, you at the top of the explosion. Ideally, we want you to pause at that time, right? The one is your concentric. Okay, so what a concentric is probably definitely the most used term, but if you ever hear that basically just means the explosive part of your movement. So in a shoulder press, you bring it down, that's your eccentric. So you do 1, 2, 3. This is your isometric down here, and then when you're exploding, you go 1. That's your concentric, right? So then you're bringing it back down to rest, whatever, eccentric, 1, 2, 3. Hold it right here for a second. Your pause, your isometric, 1. Explode, that's your concentric, right? That is how you should be lifting. That is how you should be lifting with lat pull downs. That's how you should be lifting with fucking squats. That is how you should be lifting fucking period. That is how you should be lifting. That is the correct way to lift. Don't ego lift. Don't do some stupid shit. If I see someone half pressing a 75 fucking pound dumbbells, you know how unimpressed I am? Like, fuck. Like, okay. If I see someone correctly pressing 50 pound dumbbells, I'm like, that motherfucker knows how to lift. Don't let your ego get in the way of your gains. For real. Like, lift correctly. Lift with the correct technique. Utilize 3-1-1. Utilize, and that's not just me saying this, right? That's like, you should be paying attention to how you're lifting and what you're doing when you're resting and everything like that. It's just maximizing, the potential hypertrophy of the movement. It's putting your muscle fibers under more duress. What do you want? Like your deltoid muscle fibers that you're trying to work to be under duress for 2 seconds or 6 seconds? 6 seconds. You want that tension for a longer period of time, right? So why not make that as exaggerated as possible? Try it. Tell me I'm wrong. Try it in your next fucking whatever day and come back to me. Yeah, put the ego away and do your designated weight. Okay. Me and my BFF, okay? This is my BFF. Progressive overload. I would have never had the chest I had pre-surgery without progressive overload. It astonishes me that it is not talked about more in lifting in our industry and everything like that. It boosts your strength, right? Over time, it makes your muscles bigger. It makes you stronger. It's the epitome of bodybuilding, right? So an example of this is, say we have, I'm going to just use shoulder press. Okay, so you can shoulder press. We're shoulder pressing. Okay, say we have, what should this guy's name be? Okay, we have Jim. Jim goes to the gym. Alright, shut up. Okay. Jim can shoulder press 45s. Okay. Now, Jim can do 45s, but he can only do it to 7 reps. Okay. So he does 7 reps with 45-pound dumbbells 1 week. He comes back next week or the next day he does that shoulder day, whatever day that he's doing, then he has to do shoulder press. He can now, because he pushed himself, he can now do 8 or 9 reps of the 45s. What Jim is going to do is he's not going to keep doing 9, 10, 11, 12 reps of 45s. He's going to move his weight up to 50. Okay? He's going to move his weight up to 50s. Okay? Jim, most likely will not be able to achieve 8 reps with 50s, right? But he'll probably get 5 or 6. And that's okay. Because in the coming weeks, it'll start at 5 or 6, then it'll go to 6 or 7, and then it'll go to 7 or 8, so on and so forth. And then guess what? Jim is going to do 55s. Okay, so that is how you get stronger. That is how you get bigger. You don't do it by staying at the same fucking weight over and over and over again. You should be doing it for every single exercise that you do. You should always be looking to get stronger. As soon as immediately as you hit 8 reps, 10 reps, whatever your designated rep is, You move up. You do not. I don't know who normalized like fucking not doing that. Like, do that. Okay, you want to have a strong chest. You want to have a strong upper body. You utilize that technique every time you go into the gym. Every time you go into the gym, you should be looking to get an extra rep, an extra set, whatever the fuck. Okay, and getting stronger every single time. Yeah. So once it's achievable, once you achieve that rep range at a pretty decent capacity, you go up. There's no like questioning of whatever. You go up. Okay. Yeah. So the next thing I'll kind of talk about is be okay with trying different techniques. Be okay with trying new exercises. Be okay with being uncomfortable, right? Like, even for me at this point, like, this is my job, and there's still exercises that I'm still uncomfortable with, and I still try them because I want to maximize all potential gains that I can possibly get. Don't be afraid of being uncomfortable. Don't dread it. Don't think that you're weird or like not doing the right thing because you might not be doing the right form, because eventually you will be doing the right form, and eventually the people who might look at you weird or something like that, you'll be doing more than them. So never be afraid of trying new stuff with lifting technique, with hypertrophy or whatever. Nobody is going to be perfect the first time that they lift on a new exercise. Nobody. Not me, not your favorite bodybuilder, not anybody. Yeah. Your technique genuinely will make or break your progress. So you do have an advantage if you are new to lifting, because you can immediately start doing it the correct way. Slow down your eccentric, right? What we talked about. Explode as hard as you can on your concentric, and watch how much of a difference that makes in your lifting, right? If you're doing lat pull down, see how much more your lats are engaged when you slowly bring your way back up. Okay, it's all about isolation. Okay, so the last part, right, of this is your nutrition. Okay, I think that's 5. Nutrition. Okay. So the truth behind bodybuilding is that it's like all nutrition. No lie. Like, yes, I could give you 9 different exercises that are great for building your chest, and I could give you 7 different split variations and whatever. If you do not have the right nutrition, you will fail. I don't know why that is such like a bad thing to say. Like, I've been like looked down upon because I say that. Like, that is the truth. If you have poor nutrition, you will not achieve your goals in a bodybuilding sense. I am talking about bodybuilding. If you want to lose weight for top surgery, sure, you can do that eating fast food every day. You could do that doing, Starbucks in the morning and then fucking Jack in the Box at dinner, like whatever. You don't have to be extremely healthy and have eaten certain things to lose weight. You really don't. To do bodybuilding, to lose fat and gain muscle, you need to have a handle on things, and you need to be doing it consistently, period. There is no magic pill. There is nothing that I can do or say that will change that fact. If it was easy, everyone would be great at bodybuilding. Losing weight and gaining weight is different than bodybuilding. I don't know how many times I have to stress that. Okay? I am making this for people that want to do bodybuilding, that want to build chest musculature, that want to build their upper extremities. You will not do so if you do not take your nutrition seriously. Point blank, period. Okay? You need to be eating your body weight in protein. Okay? You need to be having adequate carbohydrates, and you need to be having healthy fat levels. Protein is not the only macronutrient you need to be watching out for. If your carbs and your fat are out of whack, you're gonna be fucked too. Yeah. So whether your goal, I think a lot of people that watch are either obviously they're looking to lose weight, or I guess lose body fat and gain muscle, or they're looking to get a bit bigger, put on some size. Either way, you need to be eating clean and good food. That's it. And I'll give my honest opinion. Like, I do think tracking is necessary. I will not lie. Like, I do know that there is ways, obviously, to lose weight, again, to lose body fat without tracking, obviously. I've seen it happen. My friends that don't bodybuild lose weight, whatever. In a bodybuilding stance, I don't see why you wouldn't track, number one, and why it just doesn't make sense to me. It's very, very big to track protein, to track what you're eating. Yeah, like that's it. I mean, again, there's things you can do. I'm cutting right now. I'm at 2,000 calories for my deficit. Everything I eat is tracked. Everything I consume is tracked. Right? I'll give you an example. I have the same breakfast to the decimal every single morning. I have for lunch and my dinner, I have potatoes, 120 grams of potatoes. I have 80 grams of broccoli, and then depending on the day will depend on my protein source. So for sometimes half of the week, the dinners are salmon fillets. Some of the week, the lunches are chicken thighs or chicken breast. Sometimes it's 93.7 beef. Everything is calculated down to the decimal. You can call that too much. You can call that unhealthy, whatever. I know my relationship with food and I know it's great. Okay? I do it because I want a certain fucking result. That's it. And like, I know that might be like, people don't want to hear it and whatever. I know that like there is some bad I guess kind of like connotation with tracking. Regardless, your nutrition needs to be in check. You do not lose, like, Sam Solik said it really well. He said you cannot expect 100% results with 60% consistency. And he was like, you shouldn't even expect 60% results with 60% consistency, because that's not how bodybuilding works. You need to be doing it every single day with unwavering dedication. Okay? If you truly want a certain percentage of body fat, if you want to look a certain way, if you want to prep for top surgery, whatever, you have to be doing it day in and day out, and that's it. Your nutrition has to be like so on point to be able to do it. Seriously. So obviously, right? This is how your meals look. This is your life. If you want to do whatever, achieve your bodybuilding goals, whatever the fuck. That's how it looks. Every single day. At least 2 meals of the day. Right? That's, for me, that's how 3 of my meals look. Every single day. It's the same 12 ingredients for months at a time. The only variation is seasoning. If you don't want to do it, whoa, that was a bad voice crack. If you don't want to do it, that's okay. But do not expect results in this if you don't want to. And if you don't. Because it's not going to work 60% of the time. It's not going to work 70% of the time. It's not going to work 80% of the time. You have to do it every single day. Nutrition is king. It hails all over fucking the exercises and the sets and how you lift and everything else. You have to be uncomfortable and you have to push yourself. And I'm talking mainly about nutrition. Bodybuilding, honestly, the gym part, a lot of people can do that. The nutrition part is where people get fucked up. You know, meal prepping every 3 days, eating the same things every day. People don't want to do it. Guess what? Like, you know, it's a hard truth, but it's one that has to be said. I do not know who is telling people that you don't have to, like, that you will get everything you want in this life doing, like, not, you know, working as hard as you fucking possibly can. Like, the last thing that I'll leave you with in this video, I talk about fitness a lot, you know, I don't talk about, like, personal life or real life scenarios or anything, but I'm going to give you an example of something that happened in my life that truly showed me, like, the significance of hard work. In high school, I worked as a line cook, and, you know, the way that I got that job was, at first I was an expo, and we had a very fast, like, line, like, very, very fast. It still to this day was, like, that was the fastest restaurant we had, the worst rushes I've ever seen, and I was an expo. I was 17 years old. Everybody on the cook line was over 30. Spanish was their first language. Yeah, and they were all bilingual. They were all, like, they either had families or, like, they were old guys, you know. And they were strong as hell. Big guys. And I remember asking my manager if I could, you know, be a line cook. And he was like, fuck no. He was like, yeah, I love you, buddy, but, like, he was like, I was very small. I was a little, you know, mask with that had a really bad, you know, coke addiction. That was, like, literally, I was probably 100 pounds, long hair, right? Only women really working there, super small. And he was like, you're not bilingual, you're too small, and you're not strong enough to do it. And I was like, okay. So after every single shift that I worked, one of the cooks, Felipe, he really liked me a lot. So he kind of showed me the ropes of kitchen stuff, right? He showed me, like, how I could use the little strength that I had to, amount to, like, what those guys were carrying and everything. Because if you do, like, I don't know how many of you guys know this, but, like, fryer baskets are fucking heavy as fuck when they're full. Right, so he showed me kind of how to do that in a way that I could, and it turns out I actually was extremely fast on the line because I was so nimble that I could kind of do a lot of things at once and make stuff super efficient. So figured out stuff like that, and even, like, he taught me terms in Spanish, and, like, how to say certain things during rush so I wouldn't fuck up the other guys. Okay. It was, like, a weekend in May. It was a Saturday lunch rush and a weekend in May. It was, like, this literally probably took a month and a half of me learning. And my manager was there. It was, like, our biggest rush because we had 2 catering orders on top of our lunch rush. And I told Oscar to take his break early. And he worked the fastest station online in the middle of that rush. And we planned it out before. And I was like, can you take your break? He was like, yeah. So I did it. I took his station. I did the entire rush. It was hard as fuck, but I did it. And I did it in front of my manager. And the next day, I was promoted. And that might not mean a lot to some of you, but to me, that was, like, the first showing of, okay, as long as I just work fucking harder than everybody else, I can do whatever the fuck I want. You know, that was shown to me through a different type of work that wasn't necessarily, like I wouldn't have ever given a shit if I, like, started really hard in school and got an A. You know, I really wouldn't have, but that showed me that, like, as long as I just put in the work that nobody else was seeing and I could just do it every single day, that I would make something of myself. I was the first woman on the line. I was the only white person on the line. I was the only person that English was their first language. I was literally 90 pounds smaller than the smallest person on that line, and I still did it. And that's still one of my proudest achievements to this day, because it showed me that hard work beats all, always. No matter where you're starting out, whether you think top surgery is a possibility for you right now, and maybe you want it in the future, all you need is hard work. That's it. Hard work prevails. Nothing else matters. No exercises matter. No set number matters. Nothing fucking matters. As long as you find a way to get shit done, that's all that matters. Genuinely. Swear. I promise. I started out probably worse than every person watching this shit. All you need is hard work, and that's it. That's all you need, right? If you go hard as fuck every single day in the gym, you leave every single set knowing that you gave everything. Like, there was literally nothing else you can give. You pushed your body and your mind to its fullest capacity. You can walk away knowing that there was nothing else you could give left. Then you go home and you put everything you have now into your nutrition. You eat your protein. You eat the things that are necessary for you to get better. And you can sleep at night. You can go to bed knowing that there's nothing else you could have done to achieve better for yourself. You will see the results, period. That's all you need. If you can go to sleep at night knowing you gave everything in the gym and everything in your diet, you're there you go. You don't need any sort of fancy gym membership. You don't need any sort of fancy supplements. You don't need any sort of anything. All you need is those two things. Okay? So, yeah. Oh my goodness. That is my crash course on top surgery. Hopefully you guys learned some new things. Hopefully this gave you guys some inspiration. Obviously, I am working on digitalizing in like a program. I just need to do it in a way that won't crash my entire site. Because when the mass program got released, it was a huge issue. So I'm just working on some different things. Hopefully you guys learned some stuff though. Took some, maybe some inspiration from the exercises I gave, stuff like that. That's it. I hope you guys liked my teaching lesson. I am fucking exhausted. As I need to go hit legs tomorrow, so I'm gonna fucking KMS. That's it. Every day. Every day, y'all. Every day. I don't do shit differently from you guys. Seriously. Like, I don't do shit differently, right? All I do is just work as hard as I fucking possibly can. Every time I go into the gym, I make sure I don't leave until everything is gone. I cannot leave anything more. Every time I eat, I make sure it's the right stuff so I can go to bed knowing I gave everything into my nutrition that day. No different. Nothing I do is different at all. Right? So, just remember that shit, right? And I got great top surgery results because of my work that I put in, right? Like, no one else could have given that to me. You can't buy it, right? As you guys know, that's what I love about bodybuilding. You can't buy it. You can't sell it. You can't give it to anybody. You got to do it. So I'll leave you with that. Obviously, way more informational this week. I have really good surprises coming for you guys the next few